It's time for another budget active noise cancelling headphone showdown. The Taotronics SoundSurge 55 versus the SoundSurge 85 versus the SoundSurge 46. They're all different prices with very random numbering. So what are the similarities and differences between them all? Which is the best value for money? Which has the best ANC? Well, stick around because we're about to find out. And I have to say now, you'll never guess which one of these headphones wins on sound quality, especially considering the prices, but just watch to the end for that big reveal, and don't forget to check the affiliate links in the description below for all the latest prices, as you never know when they might change. I was sent these all at some point by Taotronics in exchange for my honest opinion, so obviously that's what I'm going to share with you guys today, including pros and cons with zero filter, so let's get into it. Oh, hi hi guys, I'm Mark, and I'm back to review some more affordable tech in my quest to sort the God tier from the garbage and hopefully save you some hard-earned money in the process. Today we're going to be pitting 3 pairs of Taotronics budget ANC headphones against each other to see which one comes out on top. This review will probably focus more on the 55s and 85s as they are brand new, but I will be throwing in my experience with the 46s, which have been out for a while, for cross-comparison purposes. So let's just get stuck into the unboxing so we can find out what's different, what they have in common, and which pair is ultimately the best choice. So in round 1, we will be comparing all 3 headphones based on build quality, design, and my general first impressions, and I will be ranking them in order of which I found was best. The first difference to spot here is that the cheaper 85s only come with a pouch, whereas the more expensive 55s come with a nice hard shell case, though it is pretty bulky. The 46s do come with a hard shell case too. However, if you didn't know their prices, it would actually be really tough to pick out which one of them is the most expensive, just judging purely on build quality and holding them in your hands. For example, the 55s, the most expensive, are just 100% plastic in build, whereas the cheapest pair, the 85s, are plastic but with a leather feel headband. Then, to make this even more confusing, the middle-priced 46s have almost no plastic at all, being almost entirely metal with a leather feel headband, and they feel really high quality. Unexpectedly, the more expensive 55s made the most creaking noises during my stress test, with the cheaper 85s and 46 making little to no noise at all, both feeling much more flexible and a little more robust by comparison. So, whilst I actually think the 55s look the most high-end when you're wearing them and you've got them on, it's actually the SoundSurge 46 that wins round 1 here, thanks to the minimal plastic in their build. That leaves the 55s and 85s tied in second place. I have to also mention that the 46s don't fold up, so that's a minus point there for their design, but even still, their cold metal feel and high-quality leather feel headband definitely offer the best build quality here. Round 2 is all about battery life, and rather unexpectedly, it's an instant win for the cheapest option here, the 85s. They offer an insane 40 hours of playback, leaving the more expensive 46 and 55s trailing behind with up to 30 hours playback. All of these headphones have USB-C charging now, as the 46s were recently upgraded, so all of them can even provide a massive 2 hours playback after just 5 minutes worth of charging. So this round is pretty quick and simple, the $40 SoundSurge 85 win, with battery life that even betters $250 ANC headphones, with the other 2 options tied in second place. Round 3 is all about fit and comfort, but there's not a lot to distinguish these 3 pairs of headphones from one another at all. And it's not the most expensive option that instantly wins here. The more expensive 55s may have the softest padding, but they also have the strongest clamping force, meaning they're not actually that comfortable for me. Yes, they will probably provide a better seal for ANC, but it also means I get ear fatigue much sooner than I did with the 85s, which, believe it or not, were the most comfortable of the 3. The 46 comes in second place, exerting clamping force that isn't too uncomfortable, but that really intense thick padding is a little bit dense and not quite as comfortable as you'll find on the 85s. And since the 85s are so light too, they actually fit most securely, so there's actually another unexpected win for them here. In round 4, I'm going to be rating these 3 ANC headphones in terms of their microphone and call quality, but let's take a listen to all 3 with and without background noise. Okay, so first up in the microphone quality test is the Taotronics SoundSurge 55, the most expensive option here. What do you think about the microphone quality? I think it's actually pretty awesome and definitely on par with ANC headphones that cost probably more than double the price. But let's see how it fares when I introduce the background noise in 3, 2, 1. What do you think now? Does my voice still manage to maintain clarity at all times? I think that undoubtedly it does, and my voice maintains focus throughout this recording the entire time, which is likely thanks to that CVC 8.0 chip. Okay, so here is a microphone test of me using the Taotronics SoundSurge 85. How does the microphone quality sound? In my opinion, pretty damn good. But how does it fare when we introduce that background noise, which is going to come in 3, 2, 1. And there is our train sound. What do you think? Do you still think the microphone quality is good? Because I certainly do, and given the price of these, I'm seriously impressed. I really can hear my voice at all times. It definitely maintains focus, and that is something I wouldn't otherwise expect from a microphone at around the $40 price point. And last but not least, here is a microphone quality test of the Taotronics SoundSurge 46. As you can probably hear, probably not the best microphone quality out of the bunch already, and I'm not expecting it to improve when I introduce the background noise, especially since they have clear voice capture 6.0, not 8.0 like the last two. But anyway, let's do it in 3, 2, 1. As you can probably already hear, the background noise is not only a lot more audible, but my voice also struggles to maintain focus in the recording over that background noise. Okay, so I think we can all instantly agree that the 46 with CVC 6 were pretty bad. They did an okay job at reducing that background noise, but the initial quality wasn't even that great to start with. However, the 55s and 85s are seriously good, some of the best microphone quality and noise reduction I've ever heard in budget ANC headphones. But despite the mic quality being incredibly similar between those two newer models, the 55s just managed to reduce that background noise a little bit more efficiently according to my ears. So that's the 55s in first place, closely followed by the 85s with the 46 in last place. Round 5 is all about testing ANC performance. Let's start with the cheapest option here anyway, the SoundSurge 85s.
Travel mode. Office mode. Ambient mode. Travel mode.
This is surprisingly a really close contest. The 55s have great noise cancellation, reducing those low frequency noises almost entirely as though they never even existed, so that's pretty insane. The higher frequency railway track noises are the most reduced out of the three as well. This has got to be one of the strongest ANC performance I've ever seen under the $100 price point. The ANC Performance on the 46s is not surprisingly very close, but I can hear those higher frequency track noises much clearer than I could with the 55s. Otherwise, the low frequency noise reduction is almost identical, and that's only a good thing. The 85s, however, don't cancel out those lower frequencies quite as much as the 55s and 46. There is a slight dull roar that is absent with the other two pairs of headphones, but they do reduce those higher frequency railway track noises much better than the 46s do. Whilst there's actually very little between these three, if I'm totally honest, it's clear that the 55s are the winners, especially when you then factor in that they have two levels of ANC and an ambient pass-through mode too. They are closely followed by the surprise runner-ups, the 85s, and lastly, the 46s, not too far behind. The sixth round here is all about functionality and usability, and since they actually all have Bluetooth 5.0, USB-C charging, no touch controls, just button controls, no custom equalizers through apps or anything like that, all that's really left to consider here is audio-visual lag. And the great news here is that all three pairs have next to no audio-visual lag at all, even despite the 46 not supporting aptX codec. They also can only be paired to one device at a time, just so you know, so if you're switching between your phone and your laptop a lot, you will have to manually disconnect them and manually repair every time you want to do so. Bluetooth connection across all three pairs has always been solid with super fast pairing, so I have no other choice than to call this round a three-way tie. If you really had to make me choose, I'd just give it to the 55s because of their advanced ANC functionality. You know, they've got two levels of ANC, pass-through mode as well, but I did already factor that into their win in round 5 for ANC. The final round is the most important round of all, sound quality, but before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed to this channel and don't forget to slap that notification bell too, because I'm on a quest to uncover the best affordable tech out there in 2020 and beyond. So if that sounds good to you, you're definitely welcome to come along for the ride. I'm going to be giving away a bunch of true wireless earbuds on my Instagram in 2020 as well, so check the link in the comments for that as well. Okay, let's just talk sound quality. The most expensive option here, the 55s, offer a bass boosted sound signature with ANC at its strongest setting. But whilst the mid bass is definitely present here, meaning bass guitars and kick drums have a nice gut punch effect to them, the bass lacks that low rumble that would give us a deeper, fuller bass. The highs are quiet, with the sound signature sounding almost entirely bass and low mids. The result is a sound signature that feels a little bit one-dimensional no matter what kind of genre you listen to. Hi-hats, snare hits and delicate high notes all lack detail and brightness on occasions where they can even be heard at all. Vocals are definitely emphasized and brought forward into the mix, but they do sound a little bit thick for my liking. When you set the ANC mode to the second highest mode, well, the second mode, it's called office mode, bass does improve considerably, but now actually verges on being a little too boomy. And with ANC off entirely, mids and highs are pretty brash and the bass becomes practically non-existent. Overall, it is pretty clear that the 55s were meant to be used with ANC on. The 85s, on the other hand, the cheapest option here, offer a more balanced sound signature than the 55s, with a little bit less bass traded in for a better overall rounded sound profile. The 85s, on the other hand, the cheapest option here, they offer a more balanced sound signature than the 55s do, with a little bit less bass traded in for a better overall rounded sound profile. And if I'm totally honest, I can't believe I'm saying this, I actually prefer the sound signature and sound quality of the 85s over the 55s, purely because you can pick out bass, mids and highs in every track you listen to, which at least gives your brain the impression that you're hearing a full range of sound. So because of that, the 85s sound much less one-dimensional by comparison. Bass is a little bit recessed, but still warm, and thanks to emphasized mids, vocals take center stage at all times. Though the highs sound a little bit thin at louder volumes, at least they're there, at least they are present in the mix. With ANC off, however, the bass becomes pretty muddy and highs are louder yet noticeably harsh, so that's worth noting here too. Overall, it's seriously impressive for the price, and I do actually prefer them to the 55s, even though they are twice the price. But how do they compare to the SoundSurge 46? Well, as I said in my full review of them, bass is definitely their strong point, and that hasn't changed, sounding natural, full, warm, and incredibly punchy, without a doubt. They definitely offer the best bass experience out of all three headphones here. Mids are a little heavy on the low end, and highs are a little quiet, very similar to the 55s actually. But in fact, the 46s do offer a very similar sound signature, but I think they just do it better than the 55s. With ANC off, bass is incredibly boomy, however, so ANC on is definitely the better option here. And all of that is why my final ranking for sound quality looks a little bit like this. The SoundSurge 46, then the 85s, believe it or not, then the rather average 55s. I know that seems like I've accidentally put that in reverse order, but the 55s clearly have had all their efforts focused on ANC performance, and that has sadly come at the expense of sound quality. Fortunately for the 55s, their ANC is actually pretty insane to compensate, but personally, I'd always prioritize sound quality over ANC. So this was a seemingly really inconclusive cross-comparison review because each pair of headphones won 2 rounds apiece, with the other round being a tie. So instead of calling this a three-way tie and just being a total cop-out, I'm going to give myself the authority to make the final call here. Thanks, me. Considering their performance in every round, it's clear that the $40 SoundSurge 85 win overall, given that they always came in either first or second place. They actually never came in last place for any round. These are seriously sick value for money, and if your budget is around $50 or under, these are an unreal choice in so many ways. The 46 come in second place for me, having won the build quality and sound quality round, 2 very important rounds, but didn't quite win it overall thanks to their poor microphone quality being pretty bulky and losing points for being equaled just one too many times by a $40 pair of headphones. But there's no denying that they offer the best sound quality here out of all three, so if you can afford them and sound quality is everything to you, then it doesn't really make sense that you go for the 85s over these. In last place are the 55s, which for me just under-delivered in some very simple ways, like build quality, and also in important ways like sound quality. Then they almost over-delivered on ANC with 2 modes and pass-through modes, which is insane to have at this price point, but not if it comes at the expense of sound quality. But I have to say, without a doubt, they do offer the best ANC performance out of any budget ANC headphones I've ever tested, so even though they came last, that has to be commended at the very least. But before you head out and buy the 46s here, make sure you click here to watch my review of the Mixter E10s, which are actually my personal favourite ANC headphones at the $100 price point, or you can click here and check out my 5 favourite budget ANC headphones video to assess your other options. So pick one of those and I'll see you in the next video.